Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining part 5 of our SQL Server Comprehensive Training Series. In this session, we are shifting our attention to a stored procedure in SQL Server. We will look at how they work, why they matters, and how to use them effectively. If you haven't watched part 4.8, take a moment to review it. If It sets up several ideas that will help you move smoothly to the session. Let's get started. In this session, we are mostly focusing on the stored procedures in SQL Server. So, stored procedure is a pre-compiled block of TSQL statements that can accept parameters, perform actions, and the actions like insert, update, delete, read, calculation, and may or may not return a result. You can think of it's a method or function in other programmings stored permanently in the database. A stored procedure is a prepared SQL code that you can save so the code can be reused over and over again. Here is syntax to create a stored procedure. So the create procedure name as begin statements. So let's create a stored procedure in real time. So here we are creating a stored procedure with the name get all employees. Okay. Now the stored procedure is created. Now we can execute stored procedure. So it gives us the result of the employee. Okay. So the store procedure is the precompiled and stored in the database. You execute it with exec or execute keywords. Okay. So stored procedure with parameters. You can make your stored procedure more flexible by using the parameters. Okay. Let's uh, create another stored procedure with the parameters. Okay. Now uh, I am creating a stored procedure which returns the employee by department name. Okay. So I have created a stored procedure and now I'm executing this stored procedure and passing the department name. Okay. As IT. So it gives the result. It gives all the employees that belongs to the department IT. Okay. Let's verify. Okay. So Vijay, Rahul, and Ajay are in IT departments. Okay, let's confirm whether our stored procedure is returning the employees that belongs to the IT department or not. Okay, so Ajay, Rahul, Vijay, Rahul, and Ajay, that those are belonging to the IT departments. So here the department is an input parameter to the stored procedures. Now the stored procedure with the output parameter. Okay, you can you can also return the values through output parameter. Okay, so let's create a new stored procedure. Okay, and stored procedure that will gives us the output. Okay. So here we are going to create a procedure get total salary, and here we are passing department name as input parameter and total salary as output parameter. Okay. So here stored procedure is created. Okay. So how we can call the stored procedure with output parameter? So here first we need to declare a variable. Okay. And then here is the execute department ID total salary, and the total salary, for the total salary we are assigning the result. Okay, and now we are printing the result. So it gives us the result. So here the output keyword lets you return calculated values from the stored procedures. So what are the advantages of the stored procedures? So stored procedures are reusable and modular. It improves the performance, meaning it compiled once and execute many times as we call. It enhances the security. You can grant access to the procedures instead of the tables. It is easier to maintenance. Logic is centralized. It supports the error handling. Now, what are the types of stored procedure in the SQL Server? So in SQL Server, stored procedure can be grouped into four main types based on who creates them and how they are used. So first type is system stored procedure. Second is user defined stored procedure. Third is temporary stored procedure. And the fourth one is extended stored procedure. It is an older and less commonly used today. So let's go one by one in details. So first, we can discuss about the system stored procedures. So the system stored procedures are predefined by Microsoft, and it come built into the SQL Server. They are stored in the master database and starts with the prefix sp underscore, which sp stands for the stored procedure. So what is the purpose of system defined stored procedures? The system defined stored procedure perform the administrative or system level tasks such as creating logins, managing database, or retrieving metadata. So here is an example of the system stored procedures, that is execute sp underscore held db. So it displays the information about all the databases. So sp underscore who, it shows all the users currently connected. So sp underscore help text, okay, it displays the source code of a stored procedure. Sp underscore columns, it lists all the columns of the emp table. Okay, so let's check this in real time. Okay, now so it gives all the databases we have. We can check here. Okay, abc database, eap database, school database, SQL server database, msdb model and master are the, and the temp are the system databases. Okay, so you can find them here. Now we can check all users currently connected using this command. So here is the login name, means here the user, Okay, username which are connected, host name. Now let's we can see the definition of stored procedure by using the sp help text. Okay, let's check. Let's view it in real time. Okay, so we can have this get all employees. Okay, so it gives the definition of the stored procedure get all employees. Now let's check the columns of the table emp. Okay, here are the column names of the table employee. Here we need to consider some points. So don't create your own stored procedures with the name starting with sp underscore. So SQL Server always looks for them in the master database first, which can slow down the performance. Now, the second one is user-defined stored procedure. So these are the stored procedure created by you, the database developer, to perform the application specific tasks. So they can be without parameters, simple routines. With parameters means for the dynamic behavior, they can be with the output parameter, or they can be a nested or recursive. So let's create a stored procedure with this behavior in a real time. Okay, so the first one is we are creating a stored procedure without parameter. Okay, so already we have created a stored procedure. Okay, get all employees without parameter. So here you can see it's already been created here. Okay, so let's execute this. It gives us the all the employees. Okay, now let's create a stored procedure with uh, the input parameter. Okay, get by department name. Here we can pass department name as input parameter, and we can pass the means we can define the data type. Okay, here we can remove this column. Okay, and we can use the filter on the department name. Okay, so we have created the stored procedure with its parameter, and here is another way is to execute stored procedure. You don't need to specify the exec or execute keyword before the stored procedure. We can directly give the stored procedure name and the input parameter. Okay, so it gives us the result. Now create stored procedure with output parameter. So this is we have already seen. Okay, now recursive store procedure. So we can create a recursive store procedure here. Okay, let's put store counter plus one. What? Okay, let's me declare another variable here. Just pass here counter. Okay, we have created a stored procedure. Okay, now let's execute this, and we can pass the values. Okay, so the counter value is 5. It gives us the counter value is 5. Now, so here we need to consider some points. That is, the user defined stored procedures are the heart of an application logic in the SQL Server. In the real projects, 80% of your procedure will be a user defined. They handle the insert, update, uh, reports, and the validations. Okay, the third type of stored procedure is the temporary stored procedures. So the temporary stored procedures are stored in the temp database and are automatically deleted when the session ends for local and when the server restarts for the global. So types of the temporary stored procedures: the local temporary stored procedure and the global uh, temporary stored procedures. So here prefix is the procedure underscore name, hash procedure underscore name, and for the global temporary procedure we have a double hash procedure name. So it visible the local temporary procedure visibles only to your sessions, and the global temporary procedures are visible to all users until the server restarts. So here is the we can create a stored procedure, temporary stored procedure. Okay, local temporary stored procedure. Okay, we have created and now execute stored procedure. Okay, it gives us time. Now create a global temporary stored procedure. Here we have created the global temporary procedure, and now we are executing the global temporary procedures. Okay, so here some point we need to keep in mind, that is you rarely use this in business app. Means we rarely use a temporary stored procedure in our business applications, but they are very handy for testing. For testing ETL processes or the temporary script where you don't want to leave a permanent object. And the fourth type of stored procedure is the extended stored procedure, and it is the legacy features. So these are the external routines written in C or C++ and registered with the SQL Server to extend this functionality. They starts with the prefix xp underscore. That is for the xp stands for the external procedure. They run outside the normal SQL server process space, but can be called like normal store procedures. Okay, so here is the example. Let's check in the real time. Means it is not allowing us. Okay, we don't have access. So here are some points that we need to keep in mind. The extended stored procedures are the deprecated. They pose security risks since they can execute operating system commands. And if you need similar functionality, use CL stored procedure or extended service instead. So here, I mean, we can working with the stored procedure in SQL servers. Once you have created the stored procedures, you will often need to view, edit, delete, and execute them with the different parameters. Let's go through each operation clearly. The first one is to view the stored procedure in the current database. So you can see all the stored procedure in the current database using the several method. The first one is system view. Okay. So here using this syntax, you can see all the stored procedures in the current databases. Okay. Now here we have created 5 stored procedures. Okay, in the ABDB database. Here P means the stored procedure. This lists all the procedures created by user in the current database. The second option is using the system stored procedure. So we can check using this syntax. Okay, here is the stored procedures. Okay, it gives all these procedures. It shows all the stored procedure in the current database. Using the SQL Server the third option is using the SQL Server Management Studio. So for this, we can see all the stored procedures using the SQL Server Management Studio. So okay, so here is the database. In the database, you can go programmability. In the programmability, you can expand the programmability. You see the stored procedures. Okay, you can expand the stored procedure, and you can find all the stored procedures here. Okay. Uh, to view the code definition of stored procedures, you can use the exec exec, okay, sp underscore help text, and then the procedure name. Okay, so let's check this in real time. Execute sp underscore help text. Okay, sorry. So it gives the definition of the stored procedure. Here is another option is, let's check this example. Okay, here it gives the definition. Okay, now to modify an existing stored procedure, you can use the alter procedure statement. Okay, so here is the syntax: alter procedure name, then as begin, the new code or the updated code, and then it's. Let's see this in real time. Okay, here we have added the department name. Okay, so here you can see name, number, name, and salary, but you don't see the department name. So now we are altering the stored procedure. Okay, so it have successfully altered, and now run the stored procedure. Okay, it gives all the employees with the department name. So here alter allow us to change a procedure without dropping or recreating it. This is the recommended way to make an update to the stored procedures. So if you want to delete the stored procedure, you can use the drop keywords. Okay, drop procedure command. Okay, here is an example. Let's drop this. Now the stored procedure get all employee stored procedure is deleted. So one point here we need to keep in mind is that always means before always check before dropping the stored procedures. Okay, so it's checks means you can check using this syntax. Okay, now next is the stored procedure parameters. So the stored procedure parameter makes your stored procedure reusable and more dynamic. Let's go through the three common types of stored procedure parameter. The first one is the input parameter, second one is the output parameter, third one is the optional parameter or the default parameter. Let's discuss this parameter in details. So first is the input parameter. Okay, so input parameter is used to pass the value or to the stored procedures. So here is the syntax that create procedure name, then the parameter name, then the data type as begin, the statements means and the instance. Let's check this in real time. Now we are creating a stored procedures. Okay, by passing the department name as input parameter. Okay, so okay, sorry. So we have already created this stored procedure. Okay, let me drop this stored procedure first. Okay, now recreate the stored procedure. Okay, the stored procedure is created successfully. Now check the result of this. Okay, so it gives me a three employees that belongs to the IT department. Okay, so you can pass different department names to get the different values. So let's check that. So let's first check uh, the values from the EMP table. Okay, we have IT department and the null department. So here we have get the values means get the employees that belongs to the IT department, and now we can pass the null. Okay, let's check. We can pass the empty. Okay, because null is not a value. Okay, now the second type is type of parameter is output parameter. So output parameter used to return a value from the stored procedure back to the correct program or the stored procedures. Here is the syntax: create procedure name, then the parameter name, data type, and the type means output. As begin, we can assign value to the output parameters. Okay, let's create a stored procedure in real time. Let me first drop the stored procedure. Okay, let's create the stored procedures. Okay, now we have created the stored procedures. So here we can get the result of the stored procedure by first we need to declare a variable. Then we can pass the department name as the input parameter, and then the total salary as the output parameter. Okay, Oh, my bad. Let's create, let's drop this stored procedure. Varchar 50. We can change the data type to the varchar 50. Okay, now let's create once again. And now let's check the result of this. Okay, it gives us the result. So the value assigned to the total salary inside the procedure is written into the variable result. Okay, the third one parameter is the optional parameter or the default values. So we can assign default value to the parameters so that passing them is an optional. Okay, so here is the syntax: create procedure, procedure name, parameter name, data type, and then we can assign the default values, then they use parameter. Okay, let's create the stored procedure with the default parameters. Okay, here is the optional parameter we are passing. Okay, we have created the stored procedures. Now let's check the result. First, uh, we are not passing any input parameters. Okay, so it gives us all the employees. Now we are passing the department name as the parameter, and it gives us the employee that belongs to the IT department only. So you don't need to pass the department name in the procedure shows all the records. The last one is combining the input, output, and the optional parameters. So here is the full example showing all these three types together. Okay, so let me create the stored procedure here. Okay, I have created a stored procedure get salary summary. The department name is optional, or okay, or we can assign the default values. Then the EMP count is output parameter and the total salary is output parameters. Let's run execute the stored procedures. Okay, so first, uh, okay, we have declared the count and the total. Okay, and let's execute the get salary summary stored procedure. Okay, okay, here it gives the total employees 3 and the total salary is 18,950 rupees. Okay, so this is all about the stored procedure in the SQL servers. So if you like this video or this session, then please like, follow, and subscribe the Tech channel for more and tech videos and the more videos on the SQL server. Thank you.